story time. Take you back to the Kaho'olawe days, right? Amongst the hui, people had nicknames. Okay, my nickname was General Hot Licks. Okay, Glenn Davis, you know, give me that. And my dear friend Boogie Kalama, he was called the Admiral. Okay, so during that struggle, Boogie, who was, very much on the ocean, sailed with the Ho'olawe, everything, and when the Ho'olawe sailed, Buff, they asked Buff, well, how come you bring in Boogie? He said, because I have to have somebody over here to keep me happy and play me music. So during the Kaho'olawe struggle, Boogie had got one ratting, one big ratting, okay, maybe a 20-footer, 30-footer, the big rattings. They was going to the island, and the Coast Guard caught her, intercepted them, okay, and it was chasing after them, okay, to catch them. And it was down at we were down east side, just past before Kaho'olawe, where they have that one place, the harbor over there. And as the story goes, Boogie looking at the situation, he puts that ratting in full throttle now, okay? Now this ratting, on the fifth landing, when Terry guys went over, they had the 14, right? When you going on one ratting, you gotta hold on because you're not going through the wave like that, anything. You're going from top of wave to top of wave and blasting and so the two rattings was going. Here we are with our full gear, right? Full gear, right? Lahaina, me. I'm coming over there. I get my, Earl and kind of brother, DeLeon brothers was on Maui. So prior to them coming, I was trying to get to Kaho'olawe. Glenn tried to take me on one boat with all my bags full of coconuts, everything. I told him, bro, just take me over there and just drop me off on the island. So I went load up all my spear thrown net, my coconuts floating, everything like that. But again, we got intercepted because, of course they're going to be watching Lahaina. So by that time we're going out, we're coming into the channel. Oh, we see the Coast Guard cutter already. We see the chopper. Oh, okay, we turn around, we come back. The next thing happened, the other 13 people came, and everybody, just like the world showed up, right? Flags, agendas, and everything like that and everything. So when so what we did was, right, that's what happened, yeah. It wasn't just me, we had two rattings. I had all my hukana in there. So they had to put the canvas on top the ratting. And then Terry them, all the guys, went in the other ratting. And this is funny because we come out of the harbor, we come out of the channel, and they gotta pick up steam, right? Because if we can, we're gonna outrace the Coast Guard cutter and get to the island. So we're going and flying, bang, all you hear is screams every time the ratting would come down. Ah! When you're sitting in the back of the ratting, you literally can be bounced right out of it, the thing. Because there's no deck, there's nothing for hang on to, nothing. So so that's what happened fifth landing. So like with the ratting, but back to Boogie, back to the Admiral. So Boogie turns and he heads for the harbor. When he gets close to the harbor, full throttle now, full throttle. He said, prepare to ram as they got close to land. And that ratting, when they hit the land, it went airborne. Airborne into the kuahivis over there. And then everybody got out and left the thing because they had to get out of there because, because the helicopter and everything like that. And so, just never mind the ratting.
Prepare to ram.
Prepare to ram. Shucks. So anyway, I was just flashing on that this morning.
So that was on Maui that they
No, Molokai.
oh
Yeah, they had come out of Molokai. They was
oh
coming out of Molokai to get to Kaho'olawe, not Maui.
oh okay.
See, because at that time, the whole movement was kind of centered around in Kaho'olawe. I'm sure other people, maybe even some brothers who were on the Kona, I'm not exactly who sure was. But I just was thinking about this morning. So.
But then a bunch of you guys actually made it to the island, huh?
Oh yeah, at 5 landings. Yeah, how we got in when we couldn't come across, right? Because we had so much guys and everything, and so we figured, okay, next, plan B. So I ended up, Francis Labatt had one house down Kihei side. So we went down there, stayed with him. Boom, boom. We ended up in the bushes in the Kaho'olawe because we kind of had to dissipate because they had all kind of guys following us, and you really had to like you're watching a 007 movie, right? And you get in, you gotta ditch the guys who's following you, right? So then the plan was, okay, well, we didn't really know the plan, but then guys, they chartered a boat out of Malaya, one charter fishing boat. And then slowly in the days like that, they would go down and see the captain, brother, and he would take a suitcase here and a bag here and a duffel stuff and put them underneath the cabin. Until the time came when, like 4 o'clock in the morning, he came get us, took us down to Malaya Harbor, stuffed us inside this cabin cruiser. And that's when we went and they dropped us off outside Kaho'olawe. That's how we got to the island. From there, everybody spread out. John DeLeon and I went partner up. I mean, I still kind of, I wouldn't bury all my had net. I get everything probably still buried over there. I don't know what. We went up the Kula looking for the water. Everybody spread up. Terry them. They went up. They decided to go up the dry riverbed. Wrong move. Carrying backpacks, going up, climbing over boulders, like walking up river, everything. By the time the heat and everything, they never get too far. And they got, they had the starlight thing, where you could see the guys, and one by one is picking up everybody. So John and I, we was like goats, came on the north, on the west side, across Alenuihaha. Right up by the Pico, if you look Kaho'olawe, right over here, the part of the baby, the fetus kind of look like one fetus. And as soon as we got by the top, we feel, okay, we go along the Pali. And we started to see like, okay, the bees, we started to see birds. So we figure, hey, we follow the bees and the birds because they know where the water stay. Sure enough, man, we cut right along the edge. I mean, all kinds like sites, like walls and all kinds of stuff, and not too much, bombs and things like that. I don't remember. And finally, as we got closer, we following the bees and the birds. Next thing you know, we're looking around and get the goats. Sure enough, one big ana, one cave up there along the Pali. Inside there, fresh water. To this day, the water would still be there, even though they wouldn't blow out the basal lands with that when they simulated the atomic explosion as one of the things they did on Kaho'olawe. They put these massive bunches of TNT and they try to simulate atomic explosion. I think Walter them got photographs of that. So when you fly over, you can see like one big puka in the marine. And then we decided, we were set, we were in the cave, they couldn't find us with anything, we totally disappeared. But we was wondering, well, what? We could check up on the rest of the gang. Yeah, we check up. We'll go look. So shoot. So we walked back down along that trail, and then that's when the jeep would show up, and they said, "Don't stop everything." Started to walk directly through the hard pan, all bombs all over the place, everything. We just started walking through there, and they wouldn't stop. He said, please, don't. We got, what are you gonna do?" So me and John, we get one conference. We say, "Well, okay, we can keep going now. They're not gonna follow us. We'll be okay." We had our dry fish and boy, because Lahaina you could pick up dry aqua, get good dry aqua. We had all our dry aqua and our boy. We had our water. We was all good to go. But we decided what they told us they had captured the rest of the guys. And so me and John talking, I remember we said, "Well, what? Oh, about nighttime coming. Well, better we catch ride with these guys." So we walked back by
Stay with the gang.
Yeah, we walked back by the gang. They could take us by the gang, Okay, and they said, "Okay, thank you." So we went down there, and then they took us, and it was real kind of spooky because they couldn't take us to the holding camp where we were eventually going to end up. But we were kind of on the kula, and it was spooky. It had the mist, all the mist and stuff like that, and you couldn't really see, like fog kind of thick, And then the morning came, and then you said boom boom, and then we went down. But anyway, just some stories from the day. It's just like yesterday, man.
That was the greatest picture show.
That's how the song "The Greatest Picture Show" for the opera comes out, opening up, and in the opera, it's like on the stage is like the opening song is "The Greatest Picture Show," and except the 14 guys, the guys who are on there, are dressed up like aumakua, and so this whole battle takes place, on the stage, where you have the aumakua, the moa, the mano, the pueo, all this stuff, the mo'o, and all this stuff like that. And so that's how, it's kind of like getting ahead of it, but, So anyway, hey, top of the morning to everybody, man.
All right,
Oi,
mahalo.
pā, man. Mau kei au ka aina I ka pono. We got this.